So, without further ado, I think we need to understand really, for our viewers, ano po ba talaga ang investigasyon at ang powers ng ICC? Anyone please? Go ahead, sir.
Siguro, simulan ko na lang yung palagi nating naririnig. Sabi ko nga, ang misnomer na sinasabi palagi, ang ICC ay hindi na tayo kasama o hindi na tayo hawak ng ICC. Unang-una nilang sinasabi dahil bukod sa dati tayong kasali sa ICC, tinanggal na tayo nung panahon ni Presidente Duterte. So, wala na tayong hawak dyan. Ngayon, dinawin ko lang on that point, number one, nagsabi na po yung ating Korte Suprema na anything up to 2019, 2019, ano? 2019, tayo ay covered or tayo ay dapat sumunod sa ating treaty obligations sa ICC. So, yun po ruling po ng ating Korte Suprema. So, kung sasabihin nila, at I think yung investigasyon na nangyayari ngayon, within that 2019 period. So, lahat po yan hawak ng ICC. Pangalawang isyong sinasabi nila, gumagana naman ang ating justice system. Sabi nga nila, may nakulong na 3 pulis dahil sa EJK nung panahon ni Duterte. Sabi nila, yan preba ng EJK, no? Kung titingnan natin yung ICC, mapapaliwanag pa yan ni Attorney Conti mamaya, hindi lang naman dahil wala tayong justice system o dahil hindi gumagana, pero nandun din po sa charter ng ICC yung sinasabi nilang inability or incapable of giving justice, no? O yung paglabas ng justice. Ang tanong ko, yung isang nangyari yon, isang EJK na yon, ang sabi 6,000 yung EJK victims or meron pa nga sinasabi 20,000 yung EJK victims, yun ba ay sapat? 'Di ba? 1 out of 20,000, does that prove na meron tayong hustisya sa mga EJK victims, etc. So, I think that those in a nutshell, no, the ICC can come in, the ICC can enforce or can investigate, and hopefully kung sino man yung mga liable, punta natin sa rule of law at mabigyan ng hustisya yung mga EJK victims. Siguro
itanong ko na straight kay Attorney Chrissy, sinabi nga ni Attorney Howie, pwede naman nandito ang ICC, pwede pa rin matuloy. Natutuloy po ba? Is there any ongoing efforts on the part of ICC that you know of and willing to share?
Yes. Tuloy-tuloy po ang investigasyon ng ICC simula nung pinal na pinagpasyahan. Yung appeals chamber ng ICC kinonsidera yung request ng Pilipinas na i-defer o ipagpaliban muna yung investigation. Nung January last year, sabi hindi, tuloy na natin talaga to. The final decision came in July 2023. Sabi na, walang makakapigil, mag-iimbestiga kami. Tuloy-tuloy yung investigation nila. Ang problema lang, di natin alam or wala itong time frame. Maski doon sa parang framework nila, sa law nila, wala namang time frame ito dahil sa investigation, ang hinahanap mo ay hindi quantity, kundi quality of the information, of the evidence.
Itanong ko lang sa inyo, ma'am, na? So, sinabi niyo tuloy-tuloy investigation despite ang Pilipinas ay hindi na member?
Kahit hindi member.
Paano po nangyayari yan, ma'am?
Meron kayong residual obligations. Nabanggit kanina ni Attorney Howie, at totoo, natapos tayo ng March 2019. Pero itong example, dati tayong member, naging bahagi tayo. FIBA, basketball. Habang may laro, may Filipino player, meron tayong player na napak ng US, Australia. Sinapak yung Australiano. Galit natin, umalis na tayo ng FIBA, di na kami sasali dyan. Ganun. Palagay nyo, makakalusot na lang ng basta-basta yung player natin? Hindi. Hahabulin tayo ng FIBA doon sa nangyari habang member tayo. Hindi tayo makakalusot dyan. Kaya, kung ang FIBA ay mag-i-investigate, kahit matapos na nung pag-alis natin, valid, di ba? Tama lang na mag-imbestiga sila. Ganun yung sa ICC. Kaya nilang gawin yan even without the participation of the state, yung gobyerno, dito sa ICC investigation, kung may magbibigay ng ebidensya. Merong tao magbibigay ng CCTV, police report, o kaya kahit na anong ebidensya patungkol sa investigation, tatanggapin ng ICC.
But ma'am, how can the investigation proceed without government participation?
The investigation is funded by the ICC.
Okay.
Naiklaklaro ko, international court, hindi foreign court. At ako, tingin ko, medyo mayaman-yaman ngayon ng ICC. Nagbibigay regularly ang kanyang mga member states. At maayos yung pagpapatakbo sa kanya. Parang more than 20 years experience na itong ICC sa mga ganitong kalakaran. Kaya yung investigation nila, polished, malinis. Tapos alam nila kung saan nahanapin yung kung aling papel. Kaya ang mahirap mag-disclose at this point kasi investigation. Pero ito ang isang malinaw. Masinsin sila sa punto ng meron silang listahan ng kung sino lahat ng players. Kung tayo investigador, di ba? Sino ang presidente, vice president, sinong mga senador, sinong may alam niyan? Ano ang itsura ng PNP? Ano ang itsura ng quote-unquote DDS na as in Davao Death Squad at hindi lang basta diehard supporter nung later on. Ito, masin
No, sila niya way ni sa patiya, too late the hero kung sa di nakamove on na kita ya, nakamove on na ang syudad. Subong pa lang sila ya kadugdong na iritin ang ngalan sa syudad. Wala magkita pituan sa to sa deklarasyon sa presidente ya. Dapat hindi kita maging hypocritical about sinamo. Kasi mo kabaluman kita ano ka lapdagon sa illegal drug trade sa syudad sa time. Kita lang di ang syudad outside of Metro Manila, multiple ang drug lord, damo drug personalities. And to the point nga nag-usar ang mga drug personalities with impunity.
A former mayor tagged as a narco-politician by former President Rodrigo Duterte wants to restore his image and clean his name. Jed Mabilog believes he has better chances of clearing his name under the Marcos administration.
Mabilog has sent word that he wants to talk to me. And I have some lifestyle check on him. His house is like a palace in, sabi ko, anak siguro talaga ito ng mayamang-mayaman. Yung bahay niya talagang pinasilip ko sa mga NBI pati BIR. It's palace.
Controversial Police Chief Inspector Jovi Espinido was also reassigned to Iloilo, raising concerns for Mabilog's safety due to his involvement in operations that resulted in the deaths of 2 mayors accused of drug links. But now, Espinido is spilling the beans.
Ang instruction lang na tulungan mo ako, Juby, at saka si President Duterte about this war against illegal drugs. So dapat galingan mo ikaw ang i-assign ko as Chief of Police ng Albuera. So dapat mawala na yung mga drugs sa Albuera. Ang police, isa lang ang word, general word na ibigay. Lahat alam na namin ang isang meaning din.
Ano po yun?
Pag sabi na mawala, kasali na yung mamatay.
Mamatay?
That is very obvious for us, an officer,
So,
Your Honor.
Subject is implementation of the Ombudsman.
Iloilo Mayor Mabilog. Sir, good morning to you from wherever you are.
Good morning, Ma'am Karen. Good morning po to all who are watching this program right now of yours.
All right. Now, it's been 7 years since you've been in the Philippines. You have been abroad in exile for close to 7 years. Is that correct? From the time former President Duterte included you in his narco list. Is it close to 7 years now, sir?
Yes, ma'am. It is exactly 7 years in the month of September of this year.
All right.
Yes.
So you have been in hiding during the time of the former president. Why did you choose to leave the country instead of face the charges?
Well, I decided to leave the country at that time because there were threats against my life and security. When I left the country on official travel to be speaker for an international conference in Japan, yes, there were existing pending complaints filed against me in the Ombudsman. Unfortunately for me, these cases were heard without my defense, and the court rulings were made. That is why I would like to return and face to prove my innocence. I was also afraid of the reports about the extrajudicial killings in the country. If you remember, madaming pinapatay noong panahon na yon. Lalo na kapag na-involve ang pangalan sa droga. Walang basehan ang mga paratang laban sa akin. Natatakot lang po talaga ako sa sarili at lalo na po para sa aking pamilya. As I said, I am ready to face these allegations against me, pero sana sa tamang proseso sa korte. However, wala pong na-file na kaso laban sa akin sa drug issues.
Walang na-file na kaso laban sa iyo sa drug issues. But if we go back to 2017, the former president even subjected you to a lifestyle check, accused you of your involvement with the illegal drug trade, and questioned even the legitimacy of your home. The former president accused you of living in a mansion, a palace, accused essentially you of graft and corruption without the formal charges. Is that correct?
Yes, that is true. He just unfairly accused me of putting these accusations left and right, baseless accusations left and right. As a matter of fact, my house still in Iloilo City is only a 200 square meter, stands on a 200 square meter property. So how can it be a mansion? The NBI has visited my place for twice. And, not only that, CIDG, PIDEA, PNP, and even the Philippine National Police has also visited and has also checked on me. But as of now, wala po talaga sila makikita ng anything that could put my name involved in the illegal drug trade. So there is nothing that they have found that would substantiate these accusations, Paul.
And the former president during that time even quoted these words. He said you were the most shabulized. He called Iloilo City that. Do you remember that, sir?
Yes. That is why if you would check on the list that he made when he read and called Iloilo City as most shabulized, on the 81 provinces and 27 cities listed by PIDEA, Iloilo province ranked 79th of 81 of the list, and Iloilo City was 51st. As a matter of fact, in that PIDEA list, nowhere can you find in the top 10 that Iloilo City belongs to that category. not even in the top 50. So there is no basis for him to call Iloilo as most Shabualized.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, ma'am, I was, at that time, I made multiple attempts to meet him, to face him, and tell him that these accusations were false and politically motivated. I wanted to ask him what was his basis. I want to show to him a detailed book compilation of my and the city's anti-illegal drug programs that even received national rewards and recognition from PIDEA and from the Philippine National Police themselves. So there was, again, I stand that there is no basis for him to accuse me of being a protector of illegal drugs and at the same time calling Iloilo City a Shabualized, the most Shabualized city.
So it means that in 2017, before you escaped, so to speak, is you tried to reach out to the former president and you tried to actually meet with him, but he declined?
Yes, unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity and chance to meet him. Yes, but I did have several attempts. I even went to Davao. I even went to, try to made several attempts to meet him, but I didn't have the chance and opportunity to do this.
So why do you think did the president, do you feel you were targeted? Was this personal? Why do you think then did the president accuse you of frankly being a drug protector? Where would this be coming from?
Actually, that was the reason why I really wanted to meet him, because I really wanted to know the facts on what was his basis. But personally, as you asked me, I think that his basis was because of a personal vendetta of that he had against my person because of several incidents that happened before. But I have never ever have, these are all like speculations, like there were attempts that when he was still running for president, he wanted to meet me. He went to Iloilo, but at that time I was in Manila because of a special project to bring down the spaghetti lines along the national highway. And I have to meet some corporate executives owned by those lines.
So kumbaga wala ka
so I wasn't able to meet him, yes. And second is when he had his own political rally in Iloilo City, during that rally he had a brownout. So in the plaza. So again, that all are just like my personal speculations, or because it has never been, proven that that was the reason why he got mad at me. Also, after the elections of four candidates running for president, he got the lowest vote, and that was all over the country. So. As well as there was, like Davao was always compared to Iloilo, and Iloilo was always better than Davao during his term as mayor, while I was mayor of Iloilo City. Again, I am not sure of this, if these are the real reasons, because I never had the chance to meet him and talk to him about it.
Okay, all right. So you said it yourself, these are speculations, but do you believe that if there was a motive, it would be political vendetta?
Yes, definitely. And aside from that, of course, I did not support him in that particular presidential election. If you would notice, ma'am, that there was a lot of persecution when he became president. As a matter of fact, Trimedia, the judiciary, legislation, all those mayors also on that particular list that I personally know have been those who were not politically allied with him at that time were all persecuted. So
All right.
one way
So-
or another.
Okay. But then, somebody might be asking right now and say, there were many Filipino citizens who may have felt persecuted, right? And I think in the last 6 years, there have been several issues of red tagging, and there's an investigation right now by the ICC on the EJ case. Some would be watching and saying, why would he not face the charges, considering he was a sitting mayor, he was elected by the people, you did have power and influence, why escape? So you won as mayor as 2016, and yet you left the country 2017, is this correct,
Yes.
Mayor? Okay,
Yes.
so bakit, kumbaga, sasabihin ng ilang nanonood, grabe naman yun, ang ordinaryong Pilipino, hindi kayang tumakas. Tapos eto siya, may kakayanan, mayor, binoto ng tao. Ba't di na lang niya nilabanan? Diba? Lumaban siya sa korte.
Sana ganun nga ang nangyari. But when he made mention several times, I think not only once but more than 10 times that he has threatened my life. That he even used the word na papatayin niya talaga ako. So it would have been good if he would have followed the rule of law and cases were filed against me because I was ready to face them in court. I have all the documents that would prove of my performance and my campaign against anti-illegal drugs and crime in my city. And again, that's what I told you earlier, that we have even received, Iloilo City and myself have been receiving national awards from the PIDEA for our anti-drug campaign. Not only once, but we got it in 2014, 2015, and 2016. And I have only been mayor for 6 years. And 3 years